Have you ever left a job interview feeling confident and happy, but a few days later you received a rejection email?
Have you ever asked yourself, what did I do wrong? I answered the questions, I was prepared. Why did they reject me?
Today, we are talking about something very real and painful. We are talking about why many people get rejected after interviews, even when they are qualified.
We will share a personal story, real mistakes that people ignore, and how English can secretly affect your chances.
And we will also talk about how one decision changed everything.
If you are new here, welcome to the Avatar English podcast, where we improve your English through real conversations and real-life stories.
Make sure to subscribe to the channel because every episode helps you grow step by step.
Let's start with the first rejection. Omar, tell us about your first job interview after graduation. How did you feel before going there?
I remember that day very clearly. I was excited and nervous at the same time, but mostly I felt confident because I believed I was ready.
Why did you feel confident?
Because I had good grades, I prepared answers at home, and I practiced common interview questions in front of the mirror.
That sounds like someone who did everything right.
Yes, and that's why the rejection later felt so confusing.
Let's go step by step. What happened during the interview?
The interview started well. They asked me about my background, my studies, and my experience, and I answered calmly.
Did you feel comfortable speaking?
At the beginning, yes, but when they switched to English, I felt a small change inside me.
A small change? What do you mean?
My mind became slower. I knew the ideas in my head, but I could not express them clearly.
Did they ask many questions in English?
Yes, especially about teamwork and problem solving. I understood the questions, but my answers were short and simple.
Did you feel that your answers represented your real ability?
No, and that's the painful part. Inside my head, I had better ideas, but I could not organize them well in English.
What happened after the interview ended?
I left the building feeling proud. I told myself that I did well enough and that I would probably get the job.
So you were hopeful.
Very hopeful. I even started imagining my first day at work.
And then?
3 days later, I received an email. I opened it quickly and I saw the sentence that many people know too well.
We regret to inform you.
Yes, exactly that sentence.
How did you feel in that moment?
At first, I felt shock. Then I felt embarrassed. I kept asking myself what I did wrong.
Did they explain the reason?
No, they just said they chose another candidate.
That can feel very unfair.
Yes, because when you don't know the reason, your mind starts creating many possible explanations.
What did you think was the reason at that time?
At first, I blamed competition. I told myself maybe someone had more experience, but deep inside, I felt something else.
Something related to English?
Yes, but I didn't want to admit it yet.
Omar, after that first rejection, did you apply again quickly or did you wait for some time?
I applied again immediately because I told myself that one rejection is normal and that it does not mean anything serious.
That sounds logical.
Yes, and I truly believed that the next interview would be different because I felt I had learned from the first experience.
Did you prepare more this time?
Yes, I prepared even more. I searched online for common interview questions and I practiced my answers many times.
So you felt more ready than before.
Exactly, and that's why the second rejection hurt more.
What happened in that second interview?
It was very similar to the first one. At the beginning, everything felt smooth. I spoke clearly in Arabic and I felt relaxed.
And then English again?
Yes, they switched to English and I felt that same internal tension. My answers became shorter and I started thinking too much before speaking.
Did you notice the interviewer's reactions?
Yes, and this time I noticed something small but important. When I spoke in Arabic, they smiled and nodded. When I spoke in English, they looked more serious.
That must have increased your stress.
It did. I began correcting myself in the middle of sentences, and sometimes I stopped and restarted my answer.
That can make you look less confident, even if you are capable.
Exactly, and that is what I realized later. The problem was not knowledge, it was how I presented myself.
When did you receive the second rejection?
2 days later, the same polite email, the same formal words, the same result.
How did you feel this time?
This time, I did not feel shock, I felt frustration. I started questioning myself seriously.
What kind of questions?
I asked myself if I was really qualified or if I only believed I was ready. I began to doubt my confidence.
That is a difficult place to be.
Yes, because rejection does not only affect your job status, it affects your self-image.
Did it stop there, or did it happen again?
It happened again and again.
How many times?
4 interviews in total, 4 rejections.
That must have been emotionally exhausting.
It was. After the 4th rejection, I did not feel angry anymore. I felt tired and confused.
What was the turning thought in your mind at that moment?
I finally stopped blaming luck, competition, and timing. I asked myself an honest question.
What was it?
What if the problem is not outside? What if the problem is something I am ignoring?
And deep inside, you already knew the answer.
Yes, it was time to face the truth about my English.
Omar, when you say it was time to face the truth about your English, what exactly did you realize?
I realized that my English was not terrible, but it was not strong enough for professional interviews.
That is an important difference.
Yes, because I could understand most questions, but when I tried to answer, my ideas became simple and limited.
Can you give us a real example from one of the interviews?
Yes, I remember one question very clearly. The interviewer asked me, "Can you describe a difficult situation at work and how you solved it?"
That is a common interview question.
Yes, and in Arabic, I could tell a detailed story with clear steps and strong explanation, but in English, my answer was short and basic.
What did you say?
I said something like, "There was a problem in the team, we had different opinions, I talked to them, and we solved it."
That sounds very simple.
Exactly, and that was the problem. The idea was correct, but the explanation was weak. I did not show leadership, communication skills, or clear steps.
So the content inside your mind was stronger than the words you used.
Yes, and that difference created a gap between my real ability and how they saw me.
Did you notice their reaction?
Yes, they moved to the next question quickly, and I felt that my answer did not impress them.
That must have been frustrating.
Very frustrating because I knew I could do better, but in that moment, I did not have the language tools to express myself clearly.
Did this happen more than once?
Yes, especially with questions about achievements and future goals. My answers were correct, but not powerful.
And in interviews, small differences can change the final decision.
Exactly, because when 2 candidates have similar qualifications, communication becomes the deciding factor.
That is something many people ignore.
Yes, many people think English is only about grammar, but in interviews, English is about confidence, clarity, and structure.
So it was not only vocabulary, it was how you organized your ideas.
Yes, and I realized that interview English is different from school English.
That is a very important point.
Yes, because in school you learn rules. In interviews, you need practical speaking skills.
How did you feel after understanding this truth?
Honestly, I felt embarrassed at first because I had ignored this weakness for a long time.
But embarrassment can sometimes become motivation.
Exactly, and that was the moment I decided to stop hoping and start improving.
Omar, after you realized that English was the hidden problem, what did you do next?
At first, I did nothing for a few days. I just thought a lot. I felt disappointed in myself because I believed I was ready for the job market.
That feeling can be heavy.
Yes, and I remember sitting alone one evening and asking myself a very direct question.
What was the question?
I asked, do I want to keep getting rejected or do I want to fix the real problem?
That is a powerful moment.
Yes, because I finally stopped blaming companies and started taking responsibility.
Was it easy to admit that you needed help?
Honestly, no. My ego was hurt. I had good grades and I thought that was enough.
Many people think that.
Yes, but grades do not speak in interviews. You speak.
That is very true.
So I decided to improve my English seriously, not just by watching random videos, but by joining a structured course.
And that is when you joined Avatar Academy?
Yes, I wanted something practical, especially for speaking and interviews.
What was different about learning this time?
This time, I did not study grammar only. I practiced real interview questions. I learned how to structure my answers clearly.
Did you practice speaking a lot?
Yes, and at the beginning, I felt uncomfortable. Sometimes I forgot words. Sometimes I made mistakes and laughed at myself.
That is normal when learning.
Yes, but slowly I started feeling more confident. I could explain my ideas in longer sentences. I could give examples.
Did you notice a change in how you thought?
Yes, I started thinking in English more naturally, especially when talking about my experience and skills.
That must have changed your confidence level.
It did. I was not perfect, but I was clearer, and clarity gives confidence.
How long did it take before you felt ready to apply again?
After some weeks of consistent practice, I felt different, not just in language, but in mindset.
Different how?
Before, I hoped they would accept me. Now, I felt ready to present myself properly.
Omar, tell us about the first interview after you improved your English. Were you nervous again?
Yes, of course I was nervous. But this time, the nervousness felt different. Before, I was afraid of speaking. Now, I was ready to speak.
That is a big difference.
Very big. I remember walking into the building and telling myself, just be clear, just be structured.
How did the interview start?
It started normally. They asked about my background, my studies, and my previous experience.
And then came the English part.
Yes, and this time, when they switched to English, I did not feel that internal panic.
Really?
Yes, I took a small breath and I listened carefully to the question.
Do you remember one specific question?
Yes, they asked again about a difficult situation and how I solved it.
The same type of question as before.
Exactly. But this time, my answer was very different.
How?
Instead of giving a short answer, I explained the situation clearly. I described the problem, what actions I took, and what result we achieved.
So you gave structure.
Yes, I said something like, first, I spoke to each team member individually to understand their concerns. Then I organized a meeting to discuss solutions. Finally, we agreed on one clear plan and we finished the project on time.
That sounds confident and organized.
And the most important thing was that I felt in control of my words.
Did you notice the interviewer's reaction this time?
Yes, they nodded more, they asked follow-up questions, they seemed engaged.
That is usually a very good sign.
Yes, and I also smiled more naturally. I was not busy thinking about grammar. I was focused on communication.
That is the real goal of language.
Exactly. At one moment, one of the interviewers said, "That's a good example." When I heard that sentence, I felt something change inside me.
What did you feel?
Relief and a small, quiet confidence.
Did you leave the interview feeling hopeful again?
Yes, but this time it was different. Before, my hope was emotional. Now it was logical. I knew I had presented myself better.
That must have felt powerful.
It did. For the first time, I felt that my real ability and my communication were aligned.
Omar, after that interview, how did you feel in the following days?
Honestly, I tried to stay calm, but inside me, there was a lot of tension. Every time my phone rang, my heart started beating faster.
That waiting period can feel very long.
Yes, even if it is only 2 or 3 days, it feels like 2 or 3 weeks.
Did you feel more hopeful than before?
Yes, but I was also protecting myself emotionally. I told myself not to expect too much because I had been rejected before.
That makes sense after several disappointments.
Exactly. Then one afternoon, I saw an unknown number calling me.
Oh no, that moment?
Yes, that moment. For 2 seconds, I just looked at the phone.
You didn't answer immediately?
No, I needed one deep breath first.
I can imagine your heart beating fast.
Very fast. Then I answered, and it was the HR manager from the company.
What did she say?
She started by thanking me for attending the interview, and at that moment I thought, here we go again.
Because that is how rejection usually starts.
Exactly. But then she said, we are happy to inform you that we would like to offer you the position.
Wow.
For a second, I did not speak. I was silent.
You were shocked?
Yes, but this time it was a good shock. I felt relief, happiness, and pride at the same time.
Did you say something professional at least?
I tried to sound calm and professional, but inside I was smiling so much.
That must have been an emotional moment.
Very emotional. After the call ended, I just sat down quietly.
Quietly, I expected you to shout.
No, first I was quiet. I was thinking about all the rejections before this moment.
And how one decision changed the result?
Yes, I realized that the difference between rejection and acceptance was not luck. It was preparation and communication.
How did you feel about your English at that moment?
I felt grateful that I did not ignore the problem. Improving my English did not just help me speak better. It helped me show who I really am.
That is powerful.
Yes, because sometimes you are qualified, but if you cannot express your value clearly, people cannot see your real potential.
So the job was not only a professional success, it was personal growth.
Exactly. It was proof that when you work on your weakness instead of hiding it, things can change completely.
Omar, after this whole journey, what are the main reasons why people get rejected after interviews?
There are several reasons, and many of them are small mistakes that people do not notice.
Let's talk about them clearly so listeners can learn from them.
The first mistake is giving general answers without examples.
What do you mean by general answers?
For example, when the interviewer asks, "Are you a good team player?" and you answer, "Yes, I work well with others."
That answer is positive, but it is weak.
Exactly. Companies want proof, not only words. They want a short story that shows your skill.
So examples are very important.
Very important. The second mistake is low energy.
Low energy?
Yes, sometimes candidates answer correctly, but their voice is flat and their body language is closed.
So communication is not only about words.
Exactly. Eye contact, posture, and tone of voice all matter.
What is another mistake?
Not understanding the job role clearly. Some people apply to many jobs, but they do not study the company or the position.
That makes their answers less focused.
Yes, and interviewers can feel when you are not specific.
And what about English?
English is a big factor, especially in international companies. Even if the job is local, English often shows your communication level.
So weak English can reduce confidence.
Yes, and not only confidence, it can reduce clarity. If your ideas are not clear, the interviewer may think your thinking is not clear.
That is very important.
Another mistake is speaking too fast because of stress.
Or sometimes speaking too little.
Yes, both are problems. You need balance, clear, calm, and structured answers.
What about mindset?
Mindset is huge. If you enter the interview hoping they will like you, you feel small. If you enter ready to show your value, you feel stronger.
That shift changes your behavior automatically.
Exactly. Interviews are not about begging for a job. They are about presenting value professionally.
So if someone keeps getting rejected, what should they do?
They should not immediately blame luck. They should review their performance honestly.
Maybe record themselves answering questions.
Yes, that helps a lot.
Listen to your voice, check your clarity, improve step by step.
And if English is the weak point?
Then work on it seriously. Not only grammar, but speaking, structure, and real practice.
Because the goal is not to sound perfect, the goal is to sound clear and confident.
Exactly. When your communication improves, your opportunities improve.
Omar, when you look back at your journey now, how do you see those rejections?
I see them differently. At that time, they felt painful and unfair, but now I understand that they were signals.
Signals?
Yes, signals that something needed improvement. The rejection was not saying you are not good. It was saying you are not ready yet.
That is a very powerful way to see it.
Because many people stop after rejection. They feel embarrassed and they decide that they're not good enough.
But sometimes the problem is not ability, it is presentation.
Exactly. You might have the skills, the knowledge, and the potential, but if you cannot communicate them clearly, people cannot see them.
And that is where English can make a big difference.
Yes, English is not only a subject in school, it is a tool. It is a bridge between you and opportunity.
If you are listening now and you've been rejected before, we want you to understand something important.
Rejection is feedback. It is not a final judgment about your future.
Improve what you can control. Work on your communication. Practice speaking. Build confidence step by step.
When I decided to improve my English seriously and joined a structured course at Avatar Academy, I stopped hoping for luck and started preparing with purpose.
There, the focus was not only grammar, it was real speaking practice, interview preparation, and clear structure.
And that preparation changed everything for me.
If you want to improve your English for jobs, interviews, IELTS, or even the Duolingo English test, the right training and environment can save you years of frustration.
Do not wait for another rejection to wake you up. Start improving now.
If this episode helped you, subscribe to the channel and share it with someone who is preparing for interviews.
Your opportunity might be very close, but you need to be ready when it comes.
This is Avatar English Podcast.
And your next opportunity could begin with one decision.
We will see you in the next episode.